Hello everyone, welcome back once again. So let me remind you about the previous lectures. In the previous lectures, we have done writing task 2's format in the first lesson, where I have explained about the structure of writing an essay, which includes 4 paragraphs: introduction, body paragraph 1, 2 and a conclusion. Then in lesson number 2, we did one paragraph in detail, which was our initial paragraph, the first paragraph, which is writing an introduction. So I have explained to write a perfect introduction in detail in the previous class, which is in lesson number 2. And in lesson 2, those who have not watched that video can go to lesson number 2 and watch the video in detail. And there I have explained about writing an effective introduction, which includes, the first thing is writing a definition of the topic. If you have a great definition, if you know an effective definition, then you can write it down, jot it down over there in the first line of introduction. Then, but that is optional. If you don't have a valid, effective, great definition of the topic, then you can skip that part, because that is optional. That is not mandatory and that is not compulsory to write. If you have a great definition only, then you can write it. Otherwise, you can leave that part. Then, in the second line of introduction, you have to rephrase the question. The question which is given to you, you have to rephrase it in your own words by writing a vocabulary, synonyms, and jumbling the words, which is mandatory. You cannot skip rephrasing part, because that is the main thing of writing an introduction, because you have to rephrase or paraphrase the question in your own words to make your introduction looks impressive and complete. The last thing which you have to introduce in the first paragraph was a thesis line. So every type of essay is having a different thesis line, and that we will do step by step with every type of essay. Like we did the causes and solutions type of essay in the previous lesson. So you can learn that thesis line in order to remember it in your final exam. Now that was the complete structure of writing an introduction in the first part, which is the first paragraph. Now coming to rest of the paragraphs, which are body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2 and a conclusion at the end, which is the 4th paragraph. So today in this lesson, I'll be describing you how to write body paragraphs, which is BP1 and BP2, because these are the main paragraphs where you will introduce your main points, your ideas in detail. And body paragraphs length is 10 to 12 lines each. So you have to stretch your ideas, and I'll tell you how you can extend and stretch your ideas. Right. Alright then, coming to body paragraph 1. Body paragraph 1 is the second paragraph after writing an introduction. Introduction is the first paragraph. The second paragraph is body paragraph 1. Its length is 10 to 12 lines. I have told you in the previous lessons. So 10 to 12 lines in body paragraph 1. Body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2's length is same. Not exactly same, it can be approximately same. Like if body paragraph 1 is of 10 to 12 lines, body paragraph 2 should be also in the same range. It should not be 7 to 8 lines or 6 to 5 lines or 14 to 15 lines. It should look similar, right? Okay, so now the main thing comes here in body paragraph. Here you will introduce your ideas. So whenever you're writing your ideas in body paragraph, I would suggest just write 2 main ideas. Not more than 2, not less than 2. Just 2. And we can extend our speech, we can extend our ideas till 10 to 12 lines by just 2 main points. So my suggestion is just write 2 ideas. One with a reason, with an example. Second with a reason, with a different reason, and with a different example. Right? Now there is one structure which you need to follow when you have to write body paragraph. So in body paragraphs, we know that we have to write the reasons here. So whenever you're writing your reasons, you have to remember one thing, one format. That format is called S P E E P. SPEEP method. This is called SPEEP method. So we have to follow this method in every body paragraph, no matter what the type of essay is. So S here stands for writing the subject line. Subject line means we will write the purpose of the paragraph, the reason of the paragraph in the first line. We will not start our paragraph, our body paragraph by writing the main idea first in the first line. So you have to first of all tell the examiner what you are going to write in this paragraph. That is called subject. I'll tell you how you have to write it. Now, subject line is just about, it's of one sentence, one line or 1.5 line. Then comes the main thing, which is writing your first point or first idea here after the subject line, not in the first line. Okay, so when you are writing your subject line, then you have to put a full stop. Then in the second sentence, you will write your first idea, your first point. But before writing your first point, you have to use a connector here. I'll provide you the list of connectors. You will use a connector here and then you will write your first point. Now the thing is, after writing your first point, you'll put a full stop. Your point, your idea should be of just 1 or 1.5 line again. 1 or 1.5 line. Because we will not explain our idea here. We'll just write the main keyword of the idea. We'll just write the main keyword of the reason, of the problem, of the advantage, of the disadvantage, just the idea. Do not explain it here. Put a full stop. Then next E stands for writing explanation. Now we will explain our point here in 3 to 5 lines. So whenever we are explaining our point, before explaining this point, we will use a connector again. We will use a connector here. I'll tell you which connector we have to use here. And after writing a connector, we will explain this point in 3 to 4 lines till it gets linked with the main topic. If your point is not getting related to the topic, it's not related with the topic, it's not getting linked with the topic, that means it's incorrect. Your explanation is incorrect. You will get bands for your explanation. You will get good bands for your good explanation. Now, one thing, most of the students, 90% of the students have same point and same ideas, but not 90% of students will get the same bands. Some will get 8, some will get 7, some will get 5, some will even get 6. This depends upon your explanation. Those who can link their ideas with the main topic, those who use great explanation techniques will get great scores. So you should focus on explaining your idea more clearly. Now, after explaining this point in 3 to 4 lines, you will write an example related to this point. But this is optional. There is no need to write example everywhere, but I would suggest try to write one example at least in your whole essay, either in BP1 or in BP2. So this is optional if you have a great example, which can be a real life example, or it can also be any fake survey, which you can use as an example here. So this you need to write down here after explanation. Last P stands for point validation. Point validation means ending the paragraph. So we'll end the paragraph here by validating our point, and here we will use connectors, which can be thus, therefore, hence, or ergo. So these are some of the connectors to validate our paragraph at the end. If you will not validate your paragraph at the end, and you will end your essay by just writing an example at the end, your paragraph will look incomplete. So this is mandatory, validating the paragraph. Now we'll do the structure in detail. You'll get to know what I'm explaining. And then I have told you that you have to write two ideas. So your one idea is here, its explanation is here, its example is here. Now your second paragraph will be here. Second idea. Same structure. Second idea, explain your idea, write an example of the second idea. And then at the end you have to validate your point. So this structure will be in almost every type of essay. Not almost, but in every type of essay. I hope it's clear. Now we are going to do it in detail so that you can get to know what I'm telling you and how you have to use connectors, how you have to explain your ideas, how you can write the examples, and how you will validate your paragraph at the end. Now for the detailed explanation of body paragraph 1 and 2, I'll be uploading a new lesson, a new video where I will be explaining how you have to use these points to write down complete body paragraph. So stay tuned and watch the next video.